Well, Seth Doan is in Beijing. Seth, I got to tell you, I worry about you every time we do these stories and I see what's hanging in the air there. You've been living in China for a few years now. Can you describe what it actually feels like to be in the middle of this thick smog?
Well, thanks for your concern. First of all, I worry about it. You can feel it. We've been out all day in the smog, and it almost feels like I have the beginning of a sore throat. You can almost feel it in the back of your throat. You can see it. Actually, look at this. We have these smog filters, these air purifiers everywhere. This is the one from my office. So I was just changing the air filter. Here is the clean one, which I just took out of the box. Are you prepared to see the one that's been in my air filter?
Wow. Oh my goodness.
I mean, it's just unbelievable. These are changed. You're supposed to change them every 6 months. I don't know how long this has been, to be quite honest. But that's what you're breathing in here, and it is. It's frankly can be quite depressing. I now look at my pollution readings on my phone. We get these hourly updates, and that's the first app I look at in the morning, and I look at it sometimes before I open my curtains so I can kind of brace myself.
We're always seeing pictures of people walking around with masks over their face. Does that do anything for them? Is it real protection?
Well, depending on what kind of mask you have, sometimes you see this very flimsy, like hospital kind of masks. They don't do much. You're looking for specific numbers, like an N95. You almost feel like you have to be a scientist sometimes to live in Beijing. You get to know the size of particles and particulates, what you're particularly concerned about. PM 2.5, those are the ones that you really have to worry about because they're the ones that can go deep into your lungs. There's also the PM 10s, which are a little bit bigger. So different masks can shield against different types of pollutants. And when you live in Beijing, you start to pay attention to that kind of stuff.
They just showed a very gray shot. I thought something had happened to the monitor, like the monitor had turned off, until I looked at it more clearly and I realized there were the outlines of buildings, but you couldn't even see. It was so gray. Some days are clearly worse than others, though. What is behind the spike that we're seeing?
Well, that is the big question right now. Of course, they've issued for the first time ever this red alert, but we saw smog that was much worse last week. Beijing in 2013 put in place this color-coded system of smog alerts. So red is the highest, and this is the first time they've ever issued this red smog alert. But people are saying, why now? Why not last week? And there's some discussion, just as you speak with people out on the streets, as to whether or not the government did not put that red alert in place last week when China's President Xi Jinping was in Paris at the climate talk, so to try to avoid some sort of embarrassment. Of course, it's not known exactly why they've issued this red alert now, but the smog is particularly bad. I just looked at my phone, and what you're really concerned about, these PM 2.5, very fine particulates, it was around 350, and the World Health Organization says that 25 is safe.
Wow.
Oh my God.
And you just mentioned the climate talks. What's the chance that anything is actually going to be done to improve the air quality in China anytime soon?
Well, China has come out and has set some very ambitious targets. We've spoken with people who were once in the government, and they've told us they believe that China can, in fact, achieve these pollution-busting targets, from cutting down on the pollutants that are going out in the air, to also trying to improve. So much of China's energy comes from coal, so they're trying to improve some of those coal power plants. They're trying to boost renewable energy considerably. They're even talking and now expanding the nuclear power generated from nuclear, which opens up a new set of issues here. But many people are telling us that China is quite serious. If they set these goals, they will achieve them.
All right, Seth Doan for us in Beijing. Thank you so much.